Week number 3 of the NFL is upon us, and with that, it is time to make some more picks. So thank you guys for checking out this video. My name is Gore, and we are going to go through every game on the schedule, ESPN Pick 'em style, and give you some picks and some thoughts on each game. So I appreciate you watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoy it. Subscribe for more content like this, not just picks, but also to do some hot topic discussion related content. Want to do some more of that as well as we get into more of the thick of the football season and into hockey season and basketball season and all that and baseball playoffs and yada yada, on and on. But this is a football video, so we're going to go with the picks, and without further ado, we'll start with the Thursday night game, which me as a 49er fan, I am intrigued in the most, obviously. But it's not much of a game, I don't think. Gonna take the easy one, pick the 49ers here this week. I did see an article that might have indicated Saquon Barkley would be able to play in this game. I don't see how that's possible. And without him, I don't see how the Giants stay competitive in this game. The 49ers are just on a roll. They did not play particularly well against the Rams, and I get it. The division, it's the hardest games to win, your division games. But they didn't really look great. I still have some questions about them on the defensive side of the ball. Not a lot of pass rush yet. Nick Bosa's not gotten involved yet. So a little bit of question mark areas. I don't know how the offensive line will hold up outside of Trent Williams. But I do like the 49ers in this one. I don't overthink it. Just go with the 49ers and move on. So we will. The next game up here is Tennessee and Cleveland. Tennessee is really struggling offensively. They've been competitive, right? And obviously they got the win against the Charger team that just gives games away, right? So you get the win there. Cleveland, tough loss, and maybe even tougher off the field now with Chubb being most likely gone for the year. I think they've confirmed that. I mean, all you had to do is watch a replay of that injury to know he was going to be out for the year. So this is a tough one. I think Tennessee, again, it's going to be a competitive game. I don't think you're going to see a lot of offense in this game either this week. Tennessee is just kind of struggling to find it. And without Chubb, I don't know where the Browns go. I mean, I know they're going to bring in Kareem Hunt, which is fine. I think that's a good pickup. He's obviously familiar with the system, having been there before. I'll take the Browns here. I don't think this is going to be a sexy game to watch. You're not going to see, if you like offense, you're not going to like this game, I don't think. But I will pick the Browns at home to kind of maybe gather themselves a little bit and just take advantage of a Tennessee team that I don't think they can scare them offensively. I just don't think they're going to be able to put up enough points to win. And that will bring us to the next game here as we go along. Atlanta, hey, I'm surprised. I mean, I didn't think they'd be 2-0 at this point. Their offense is limited, but what they do really well. They don't get a lot out of Desmond Ridder, but they don't really have to. They have an excellent running game. The combo of Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson is working, even though I still think Bijan Robinson should be getting the workload because he's the freakish athlete, and you could see his talent. It's there, the explosiveness. He's a big-time player. They just have to allow him to be. So this is an interesting game, another kind of intriguing game that I'm looking forward to this weekend. Lions really lost a game that they probably should have won. They didn't play well defensively. Seattle was able to exploit the secondary. I think for this week, though, I think my key point is that the Falcons really can't do to the Lions what the Seahawks did. Like, the Falcons are not going to challenge the Lions in the passing game the way Seattle did. So I'm going to take the Lions. I'll take the Lions to rebound and give the Falcons their first loss of the year. Bring the Lions up to 2-1, drop the Falcons to 2-1. Like I say, I think they'll kind of maybe get that home win that they want to give those fans there at being so hyped up for the team now. So like I say, I just don't think Atlanta can challenge the Lions down the field with Desmond Ridder. It's a ground and pound style. I think the Lions are better suited to handle that. Moving on to the next game, New Orleans is kind of, speaking of bad offense, New Orleans hasn't exactly been there either. The offense hasn't played great. Derek Carr's been okay, but the offense, they can't put up the points. They mentioned on the Monday night broadcast, like, they get to the red zone, no problem, and then they bog down and they have to kick the field goals, and nobody likes kicking field goals. They go to Green Bay. Green Bay's got some injury issues. They lost the close one there. I think, I think it was a winnable game. And like I say, with Atlanta being so one-dimensional, you should really be able to defend them better. And down the stretch, they just could not hold the lead. They just couldn't. They couldn't stay on the field on offense, and they couldn't stop Atlanta when it mattered the most. It's a tough game for me to pick. I think if Aaron Jones and Christian Watson are healthy, I think this might change things for me. So this pick might flip during the week, but I'm going to pick the Saints. I'm not really impressed by the offense yet, but I don't know. I just don't know about the injury situation with Green Bay. I don't know who's healthy and who's not just yet. Like I say, I might take another look at this later on in the week, but we'll see. For now, I'm going with the Saints. Next game up, I just don't like anything I see about Denver. I'm sorry. I don't care about the change in coach. I don't care about the wackiness that happened last week with the comeback and the Hail Mary and the failed 2-point conversion. It may look like they scored 33 points on paper, but they were behind the whole game. I mean, they were behind the whole game by multiple scores and had to make the furious comeback. I just don't like what I'm seeing with them. It's just not clicking yet. I don't know what the deal is. They can't punch it in, right? And they got to rely on the miraculous, potential at the end of the game and still come up short. So I don't think this is a good matchup for them. Miami's good. I don't generally buy into the Dolphins hype. It's been a few years now where there's been like talk about the Miami Dolphins, but this year's team looks legit. It does look like a good, solid unit. The offense is really difficult to stop. Like I say, as a 49er fan, Mike McDaniel's my guy. I love him. Wish he was back home at San Francisco, but he's doing good things in Miami, and the team's for real. It's a dangerous offense, and when Jalen Ramsey comes back, the defense is going to be even better. So good look for the Miami Dolphins. I'll take them. Denver goes to 0-3, and I can imagine the chatter in the around Mile High is going to be pretty loud after this weekend about an 0-3 start with Sean Payton. So rough time for the Broncos. This next game, this is a tough one for me to pick. I can't think of a bigger 0-2 versus 0-2 game than this. Both of these teams have expectations. It hasn't panned out. The Chargers, like I say, it's just a consistent thing with the Chargers. If there's a way for them to lose, they will find it. And the Vikings, the Vikings have been competitive. They've just been on the short end of the stick, just not doing the little things, turning the ball over like crazy. They have to cut down on the turnovers. The simple things, the things that are well within their control, they need to just clean up. And so I'm going to pick the Vikings here. I just think all they have to do is not turn the ball over, and they'll win. So I like them to get that done here. They'll clean up the turnovers, and again, they get the benefit of a Charger team that just, I don't know what to say. They've got talent all over the place, and it just never comes together. What can you do? Next game up, the New York Jets. It came crashing down to earth this past week. I think the talk of, well, maybe if they get just enough out of Zach Wilson, maybe it can still be a competing, contending team. No, forget it. Zach Wilson is Zach Wilson. He's going to turn the ball over. He's going to look bad. They couldn't block Micah Parsons. They couldn't do anything, really. And the defensive effort was poor, aided by the offense not helping, I admit. But the defense played a poor game. And look, at the end of the day, the Patriots are 0-2. You think they're going 0-3 to the New York Jets? Bill Belichick will never allow that. I will take the New England Patriots. I don't like a lot of what I see out of them on offense either. Like, there's a lot of smelly offense in the first couple of weeks of the year. New England's in that camp for me, but they're going to play great defense, and they know how to beat the Jets. Like, they just feast on the New York Jets. So I think it's an easy one. This 55-45 is a bit surprising. I can't believe 45% of people are picking the Jets here, but I think it's a fairly safe bet to take New England. You're pretty good with that. Washington, pretty surprising 2-0. Didn't expect them to be there. They haven't. It's not been sexy. It's not been great. But they found a way to win 2 games. And hey, when you win games in the NFL, I don't apologize for it. They're 2-0. Obviously, they've got some talent on the defensive side of the ball. Sam Howell, we'll see how he progresses. I think the Bills found themselves a little bit this past weekend. I think they kind of got back to who they are. Josh Allen, I think, just stay within yourself. Don't try to be the hero and go above and beyond, right? Just stay within yourself, stay within the offense, and I think they'll be just fine. I think they'll get the win here and kind of get going as the season goes on. For Washington, it could be, it's depending on, I have to take a look at their schedule, but could be better than I anticipated. We'll have to see. But in this game, I like the Buffalo Bills. Next game is another little division matchup. Houston has not, they were sort of competitive against Baltimore, and then really, I thought I picked them to beat the Colts, and I got that one wrong. I don't know, I'm surprised. They got handled pretty easily by the Colts. That was a disappointing performance. I'd like to see a little bit of improvement on both sides of the ball, really, for Houston. Going to take the Jaguars. They were competitive, just didn't have enough offense to beat the Chiefs. So I'll take the Jaguars here to kind of clean up the Texans and drop them to 0-3. And it may be another tough year for Houston, unfortunately. Next one up, speaking of the Colts, they travel to Baltimore. I really like the Baltimore offense, honestly. I think Lamar is proving that, hey, I can throw the ball too, And by the way, if you try to defend the pass, then you're going to open up running lanes for me, and I'm going to run the ball all over the place. So it's really setting up well for Lamar and the Raven offense. It looks good. They couple it with an always competitive defense, and I just think Anthony Richardson, I think he's got the concussion. I don't know, he'll be in the protocol this week. Don't know if he's going to play. Colts have a good backup in Gardner Minshew, but I don't see it happening here. I think the Ravens are going to continue to roll. They've played well, and they're going to continue to and beat the Colts. Seattle comes back home now after the win in Detroit. They get the rookie Bryce Young and the Panthers. Again, offense not there. Bryce Young lining up in the wrong spot on the line behind the guard instead of the center. He's going through it as a rookie, right? This happens, right? As hyped as he was, about the poise and the composure, it's going to happen. But I still think the future is bright for him. The offense is sputtering. Not a good spot. I like the Seahawks, and they are who they are, right? They're, they don't have the name brands on defense, but they're bringing some young players on. Devin Witherspoon played his first game last week. I think he's going to be a good one, unfortunately. And on offense, they've got the receivers, and they've got the downfield passing game, so I like them to get the win against the Panthers. What a clunker the Bears are. I mean, it's just a disaster. They're running the same play down on the goal line like 100 times in a row. And apparently this is the game that Fox picked up as their game of the week, as they call it. Yeah, good luck. I'll take the Chiefs and to basically bury the Bears and drop them to 0-3. What a disaster it's been, really. I mean, I gotta say this again with Justin Fields. My whole point is, eventually you have to beat people with your arm in the NFL. The NFL defenses are gonna take your legs away, and you've got to be able to throw. It's just something's rotten there. It's just not working out. The Chiefs getting going, getting Kelsey back healthy. I think they'll be just fine in this one. And again, speaking of just fine, I'll take the Cowboys against the Cardinals. Again, Cardinals have been competitive against lesser teams, and they should maybe get some credit for that. But I still think they're a team trying to lose games. Easy one to lose this week. I think the Cowboys are going to go in there and clean them up. They're playing outstanding football. They really are. October 8th, Cowboys 49ers is the first mega huge game of the year. Really looking forward to that. It's going to be a good one, the old rivalry. But in the meantime, they take care of the Cardinals, the other NFC West team, this week. Moving on. This is going to be a tough one for me. I don't quite know. So you have the Raiders, who snuck by in the division week 1 against Denver, and then they got buried by a Buffalo team in week 2 on the road. So they come back home and they get the Steelers, who got buried in week 1 and then bounce back in week 2. I think I trust the Steelers a little bit more in this one, even though I don't like the offense. It's a bit, again, what are they? But I think they'll do enough in this game to kind of get on top of the Raiders here. I just don't, the Raiders. I know Adams has a bit of an injury. He got hurt. I think there might have been a concussion with him, if I remember correctly, too. So don't know what his status is. Give me the Steelers in a kind of a coin flip game. in Las Vegas. Now, the one thing that's not going to be a coin flip is there are going to be terrible towels all over the place there. So you can bet on that, and I'll take the Steelers maybe in a pseudo home game, something like that. We've got a double up on Monday night again. Kudos to the NFL, I guess, for giving me more football, more nights of the week. I'll take that. Tampa Bay, another surprise 2-0 team. They've done it a bit quietly, going about it, with solid defense and just enough on offense, right? They've still got the weapons. Baker Mayfield playing okay. Like I say, 2-0 is 2-0 in the NFL. You take that and do not apologize. But I do think the Eagles are getting going. I think they're, they'll start to kind of hit their stride a bit. I know there's some injury issues on defense here, but like I say, they're loaded. I think they've got enough. I think they'll hand the Buccaneers their first loss of the year, and the train will just keep churning for the Eagles. Another week, another win. The second game is the rematch of the Super Bowl. The other Monday nighter, the Rams and Bengals. Now the Rams, the Rams were a team that we kind of thought were in the mix for, going to be bottom 5 of the league, top draft pick, but they've played a lot better than that. The offense has worked with Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua, I know, has been beat up a little bit, but he's catching everything. Tutu Atwell is playing well. He's the shifty guy, the quick guy. And on defense, they've absolutely overachieved because they've got Aaron Donald and a bunch of, I don't know who, but they're making it work, despite the 1-1 start. Bengals, it's crunch time now for Cincinnati. You better get a win here soon, with all the expectations you have. But Joe Burrow, I don't know if it's the injury. I don't know what's going on. This is a bit of a tough game for me to pick. I just can't see the Bengals dropping to 0-3 on a Monday Night Football. I got to imagine that the message this week is going to be, this is it. Put all your effort into this one. Get the win. Get on track. Get fixed. Get right. And move forward. So I'm going to pick the Bengals. Although I do think this could be a competitive game. I think the Rams are better than expected. And they'll give the Bengals some trouble, the way they gave the 49ers some trouble with those crossing routes and everything. I just don't see the Bengals dropping to 0-3. I just don't. Maybe I talk about in next week's video about how I was stupid about it, but I think the Bengals will get the win here on Monday night. So that's it for another week of NFL picks. It's going to be a great weekend of football. I hope you guys enjoy it. Like this video, give me a comment, let me know who you're picking, and what you think about my thoughts on these games, and if you agree, disagree, or whatever. Subscribe for more content like this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.